My name's Jeff Makarevich, and welcome to Wine and Dine with Jeff, where I'll make a healthy dinner from start to finish and pair it with wines from around the world. Let's fill up that glass.
Hi, I'm Jeff Makarevich. Welcome to Wine and Dine with Jeff. Today we're doing a vegan shepherd's pie. And meat eaters, don't turn away because you are not going to miss any of the meat. It is going to be so hearty, comfort food all the way, and delicious. And we're pairing it with this French Merlot that is just amazing. You're going to love it. I'll tell you a little more about that later. Right here we have some root vegetables with some cremini mushrooms. We have some leeks. We have celeriac or celery root, some carrots, and once again some cremini mushrooms. If you're not used to working with celeriac or a celery root, it is not the same. They're both celery and the celery root are not from the same plant, just so you know. This is produced just for the root. What we're going to do is we're just going to peel the outer edges of this, cut off the stalks, and we're just going to eat and chop up the inside. So let me cut up everything in the bite-sized pieces here, and let's get work on this vegan shepherd's pie. Now that we have all of our vegetables all cut up, let's throw our cremini mushrooms in first. Now we're going to do these in batches, and you just want to put enough mushrooms to cover the bottom of your pan is how you want to do it. And this is where you flavor up all your mushrooms. Tip number one, that, just enough to cover the bottom of the pan. Tip number two, don't salt until they're fully browned and delicious, because you're going to extract all the moisture out of the mushrooms. And that's where all the flavor is coming from when you brown them off. So just do this step for me, and you'll get better flavor mushrooms. So we'll let that go until they all get nice and brown, and then we'll get our root vegetables in the pan. We removed all of our nice browned mushrooms from the pan, and don't forget to salt them after they're nice and brown. Now to the same pan, we want the same pan here. Let's start adding all of our root vegetables. Going right on in. Just first in with my celeriac or celery root, and some carrots, and we want to give them a salt because we want to release all the liquid, especially out of these leeks, to help soften up everything. Now it all depends on how on how the sizes that you cut up all your root vegetables is how long this is going to go for. Because you want to get them until they're just a little bit tender. Not super soft, because I do love the consistency, obviously. I have some garlic. I'm not throwing that in just yet, because that'll be burnt by the time this is done, because this is going to go for, and I'm throwing salt in right now, this is going to go probably for about good 20 minutes, and let them get all nice and caramelized. And near the end, the last few minutes, we're going to throw in some garlic and some fresh herbs, and let that all infuse together. And the celeriac too. When you're cutting up your celeriac or celery root, make sure you cut that up last minute because it oxidizes like a potato. So while that's all going, let's get our potatoes in the pan and get them boiling. Now we're going to be making some buttermilk mashed potatoes to sit on top. If you're saying buttermilk mash, you got to stay tuned to see this vegan version. I'm using Golden Delicious, which I just love. Before you do anything, the water, first tip, has to be cold. And salt is going in. You have to infuse flavors into the potatoes while you're cooking. A good teaspoon of salt is going to go into your water here. And on top of that is some smashed garlic. All the exact recipe is right down below in the description center with my link to go to my website. And then a rosemary twig going right on in. And we are putting our Golden Delicious right into our cold water. And why does it have to be cold? Is because if you put it in boiling water, it will not, the potatoes will actually cook uneven. So the outsides will be done before the insides will be done. And this way everything comes together perfectly. So that's in, hot water on. So we're going to get that going, boiling. Okay, my root vegetables have been going for about 15 minutes. Let's add in some garlic now and some fresh herbs. And we're doing rosemary and thyme going right on in. And look at these nice brown bits at the bottom. That's just all flavor right there. That is flavor personified. So we'll just let this go for another about 5 minutes. And we'll start adding our liquids. And I have some lentils going in here for some protein. Oh, it's going to be so delicious. And now to finish off our root vegetables, I have a little bit of flour going in here to make a thicker sauce. Even though the tomato paste will definitely work, just work this around in here. You don't want to see any white flour left when you're done. It'll just take a few seconds. Cook that out. Then you want to add in tomato paste is going right on in. Just work that through. Work it through the root vegetables here. Okay. And then we are going to add in our vegetable stock. All right, look at this. Look at that sauce. All right. Starting to look awful delicious, isn't it? Wow. And to that, cooked lentils. You can get them from the can. You can cook them yourself. You do you, right? I like using the brown or green lentils. French lentils are my favorite. They have a great consistency. But you just pick what you want. The peas, gotta have peas in a shepherd's pie, right? So peas are going in. I just love the colors that the peas give. And then our mushrooms that we browned off, look at them. Look at them. That is going in. We're just going to mix everything through. And we're just going to let this simmer and thicken up just a few minutes. And look, this looks so amazing. This is going to be the bottom of our shepherd's pie. And the mashed potatoes are going to be right on top. It's going to be insanely delicious. So we're going to let that go. And let that go for just a few minutes, and let's mash up our potato. Now let's finish off these vegan mashed potatoes. Now here's my little trick to make them buttermilk. I have some coconut milk in there, the light one, not the full of fat one. And we are going to add a little bit of white wine vinegar to this. I would rather you do this a few minutes before putting it into the potatoes, just to let the vinegar and the coconut milk start to curdle. But I don't want to have you guys wait around. So this has just been taken out. The only thing I removed there was the stem of the rosemary. I left all the garlic in there. So we're going to add some of this Let's go for it all. Why not? It all depends on how creamy you want your potatoes. If you want them super, super creamy, then a full cup of this. If not creamy, you can go anywhere from like a half a cup to a full cup. And I left the skins on my potatoes because I love the skins on my potatoes. But like I always say, you do you. And look at this. But you can't forget one important thing. Potatoes love salt and pepper. They do. So you definitely want to, even though we infused salt in the water, you want to give them some salt and some fresh cracked pepper. Oh my God, I'm tongue-tied today. And some fresh chives are going right in. I love chives. So let's get them in there and let's give this a little taste. Look how beautiful that loves. I love the color that the chives give the potatoes too. Okay, let's give this a little taste. Excuse me, I'm the one eating this, so. Perfect, perfect. Let's get them on our root mash. I have the oven preheated to 400 degrees. Let's get that in there. I can't wait to dig into that. Go for about 30 minutes until it's nice and bubbly and brown on top. If you'd like to turn the broiler on for the last few minutes to brown it off on top, you can do that if you'd like. Now, to the wine, Chateau Garraud. Just an amazing. This is a Merlot with 2 other grapes, but I'm calling it a Merlot even though I'm not supposed to because it is in the Bordeaux region, so this should be called a Bordeaux. But it is 94% Merlot with a few other blending grapes. Well, they're not blending grapes, but in this case I would call them blending because they're such a small percentage. Let me have a taste. That's gonna go so great with the shepherd's pie because it's rich and juicy and it's like there's texture of black cherries and blackberries and walnut actually and a little bit of cassis. It's just the smooth texture is very, very nice. It's gonna go perfect with the shepherd's pie. I can't wait to dig in. Before I dig in, I first would like to thank all my subscribers. And if you're not yet a subscriber, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my recipes. And don't forget to like and share and ring that bell because I have a new recipe every Tuesday. But I can't wait any longer. I am ready to dig into this vegan shepherd's pie. Oh yeah, mashed potato. Okay. It's just mashed potatoes, just divine or what? A little bit of everything here. Wow. The flavors are just amazing. I just love to chew on the mushroom and the textures of the root vegetables. Wow, that is so delicious. Thanks for stopping by Wine and Dine with Jeff, and we'll see you next week.